Yeah.
Moving on.
Well, and it's funny because I've gone back for Get like. It's
Okay. Now it should be good to plug back in.
Oh, good. How are you? You just went upstairs,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, she's back from Italy.
It was shocking.
Like I've got my. Good West. And where I live in, so. I've set up 20. And now it's there. I guess now. Sure.
Good morning. Good morning. Lauren. I'm good. You doing all right? Got my girl graduated and. She had no. That's right, but still, that's awesome.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started because it's 10:45. We had an appointment at 10:45. Solicit, right? And so we're gonna go ahead and get started on time because you were here on time, so thank you. Believe it or not, this is my 16th meeting. At the end of this month, we'll finish 6 months. Does that seem possible? Okay. And I have to say that this is also the first team meeting where I didn't feel nervous beforehand. So like, so it took 6 months to just kind of feel like totally normal standing up here and doing the thing. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and kick off our May meeting. I want to go ahead and start by thanking our lunch sponsors for today. If my slide will work with me. No. All right, is Matthew here from Victor?
I haven't heard him say it yet.
Well, then you know what? Then we're gonna welcome up to the front of the room, Mr. RJ.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since Matt's not here, I could just take my time and.
Okay.
All right, guys, I just wanted to go over a couple of topics this morning. First of all, I emailed you guys out an article this morning that I wrote. That basically, I think, you get hit all the time from buyers regarding, I don't have the money down, my credit's not good enough. I think that there's stuff in there that will be good to share. It's a good objection handling piece, and that's really why I put it together. So feel free to use it, feel free to give it to other agents, feel free to send it out to your buyers. Do whatever you want to do with it. I'm not worried about you guys copying it, so do your thing. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, I'm sure over the last few weeks, you guys have heard all these headlines about borrowers with higher credit scores are going to pay higher fees. And high credit score borrowers are going to supplement the lower credit score borrowers. I mean, the media is good for that. I mean, it's been unreal. So I wanted to just touch base with you on that real quick, because, you know, I like to come in and like diffuse media insanity as it pertains to mortgage and real estate. So chances are none of you had ever even heard of an LLPA before last month, I'm assuming, which LLPA is a loan level price adjustment that has been in place for 15 years on conventional loans. It's not new, it came out after the housing crash. So because Fannie and Freddie were losing money, and it was a way to, you know, protect them. So the media has completely blown it out of proportion. They're making it sound like this is like a brand new thing. But in fact, it's been around for 15 years. What they've done is they've just slightly adjusted the adjustments that are on this scale. So here's an example. Let's just say that you have a 740 credit score borrower who's putting, say, 25% down, okay? This is the table as of, if you look at this is the table. If they're gonna put 75% down, or let's just say even 80% down, there's an adjustment to that rate of 0.875. Whereas before, it was much lower. It was a half a point versus 0.875. Now, we're not gonna get into math here, but that is not a huge number. I mean, it's not. And what's interesting is the media made it sound like May 1st, Doomsday, here it comes, here it comes. What you guys don't know is that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac announced this back in January. And this was for loans sold to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac as of May 1st. So you can bet this whole year that you've been closing loans, this was already built in. It was already there. So when all the realtors were calling me the day that it came out, and I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And then I looked, I saw all the stuff. What I'm telling you guys is it's been in place. It is not that big of a deal. And the end result is that yes, higher credit score borrowers are getting a little bit less of a discount. And the lower credit score borrowers were taking less of a hit. But at the end of the day, the higher credit score borrowers are still going to get the lowest rates and they're still going to pay the lowest fees. It just means that the lower credit score borrowers are not taking quite the hit that they were. But I mean, the media had a field day for this and was like, okay, take your credit score, you can get a better rate. I mean, that's insane. So that's what the media will do. I mean, this is the same media that says the housing market's going to crash and that home value is going to tank. I mean, this is the same media. So what I would say to you is it's just a leveling, and the whole goal there is just to make homeownership more of an equal opportunity for everybody. That's all it is. So if somebody asks you about it, that's the deal. The last thing I'm going to bring up this morning, since we're limited on time, is rates. That's typically the big thing that I get asked about. What's happening, what's going on. What I will tell you is that, these rates are driven by, the mortgage bond, but also by inflation and the consumer price index that measures inflation, and that's measured on a 12-month basis. And so you'll remember that it was about a year ago that rates started ticking up and inflation started getting higher. So from everything that we're seeing, and I don't have a chart for that.
It's okay.
But what I'm saying to you is just based off those consumer price index charts and the inflation charts, there is a lot of discussion and belief in my world that we're going to see rates start to drop again mid-summer. So possibly July. And so the final thing I'll say is, and I've said this all along, I think it's going to take getting rates into the 5s, at least into the mid-5s, to get sellers off the fence so we can fuel some inventory and to spur, some better options, as far as the inventory and the housing goes. So that's my opinion. That's only a couple months out. So we shall see, but that keep your eye on that. Because if that happens, that's going to be a golden opportunity to get these sellers off the fence and get buyers into homes. Did I do it in 5?
You did it. You did a fantastic job. Thank you. I would like to welcome up next, please, our second lunch sponsor for today, Mr. Matt Young from Geico. Thank you.
Yeah, your role is unlimited vision, my role. Much ado about nothing. I have agents calling all the time, daily sometimes. Hey, unlimited space, not a problem. I'm gonna just record it and then hit the record button. Not a problem, not a problem. So you guys know, not a problem. Anyway, so good to speak with you this morning. I'm a big believer in sharing what I experience on a daily basis with you guys. So it's relevant, right? I'm not gonna talk about things that happened last year, but things that happened 30 minutes ago or an hour ago or yesterday. In case in point, I got a phone call from a client a few minutes ago, and she said, Matthew, I need some help with some issues on my policies. And I said, sure, Morgan. I said, who's your agent? I said, which one of my agents set you up? She's like, well, I did it online. I was just busy. And so let me make sure we understand this right. This client paid more to have no representation when she doesn't have, when she has a sewage spill. Did she even have the right coverage? Probably not. She doesn't know to add that. And can you imagine horrifically when she has a total loss house fire, she then wakes up one day and realizes I've got a major claim, my roof's blown off and my agent is this guy. And there's not one hope we have, and that's for you guys to get your hands in the transaction rather than just say, call this person, because I can assure you, they don't trust that I'm available at 8 o'clock tonight. So they say, oh, let me go online, da, da, da. And the next thing you know, the client's back in the square one. If you guys want to make sure your clients are looked after and know who they're working with, please consider, and I think RJ would be completely okay with this, and my other colleagues, is to make text introductions. Versus waiting on your client to respond or waiting on your client to possibly not get back to us. And you just have a lot of uncertainty. So what we try to do is bridge that gap. In the last couple of months, I want to give you guys a tale of two agents. I want to ask you, do you want to be in which camp? So I was on my way back from the beach. I work a lot at the beach and the mountains, all over South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. And I was on my way back and I got a phone call about mid-space. This agent wanted me to do a three-way call. So I did. I took care of the client. Next few minutes later, I got a call about file possession. Now let's be candid. Let's shoot straight with you. If your client's working through an 800 number, do you think they know what they're doing with fire possession? Fire possession is where you have to have a separate policy for the landlord part. The answer is probably not. So guys, my point is you can either address the insurance part now or address it later. Because your lenders, like these two lenders here, and they were not named RJ, by the way, called me last night. My client's working with you guys, and we can't get what we need to get closed. We're not gonna close on time. Can you help us? And I said, half jokingly, half serious, I was like, just call the online folks. And she said, no, don't let me do that. Literally, that's what she said. Because she knows that we were able to get stuff done like that versus waiting on 800 number. Those are two examples, guys, where I would wager that the agent did not get involved. The agent did not do the group text, and the lender is left to hold up the pieces. So I think on behalf of your lender partners, let me ask that you, and for that you guys take a more active role on the second angle, because if not, your clients and your agent, your lender's going to be dealing with that. We're dealing with fallout. So I just encourage you guys and implore you to do that. And I'll leave you with this. Let's say that you got a bicyclist in the room or a golfer or tennis. Anybody loves to play those sports? You got one. Okay, so let me ask you. Thank you for the volunteer. So we'll just keep it very benign. So let's say that your friend says, hey, I want to get into sport, bicycling. Do you take your friend down to the big box store over here and give them gear? And they can say, yeah, I've got a bike. Or you take them to the bike shop who can show them how to use what they're buying and know about it. I know what the answer for me is. Hey guys, I would implore you guys to consider the same for insurance. Is when you let your client just do their own thing, normally they're going to end up in a big
How do you
box.
spell talk?
Maybe they get lucky, maybe they actually work with somebody local, but are they their advocate? Are they getting a good deal? Are they being looked at? And do they have somebody that's in their corner? That's all this comes to. So guys, anyway, I hope you enjoyed lunch. I've got to go to the High Point vendor fair today, so I may be able to bounce back. I'm not sure, but I'm so happy to be with you this morning. I want to say thank you for your support in the future. Thank you for supporting the past and the present as well. So thank you so much, guys, and y'all. Thank you.
Awesome. I love that we're in business with people who are passionate about what they do. That is absolutely fantastic to hear. And I kind of equate it to, I always do a digital business card, right? So that I can get your information in my phone versus just giving you a card that I hope one day you hold on to and you remember me and call me back. So I thought that that was a really good representation. I appreciate both of you sticking to 5 minutes. We have another special guest, and that was one of the reasons why we're kind of running on time to make sure that we fit everything in. So next, I would love to welcome up to the front of the room from RPAC, Mary Beth Powell. Thank you.
Hey, you guys, I'm Mary Beth Powell. I'm here with GRA. Thank you for letting us have just a few minutes of your time, and we'll try to keep it brief. First off, make sure that you grab breakfast, coffee, that we brought for you guys, because we all need our fair share of coffee, and then some. But we came here today to talk to you about RPAC. It's like, what am I talking about today? about RPAC and how important it is to all of us, because we're all with different firms, but we're all in the same industry and we're all family together. And I truly believe that. And, you know, there's a lot of misnomers about RPAC and how important it is for you guys to support, for all of us to support it. And Lindy's gonna go over the different levels of it. But firsthand, without reading from a script about why it's important to our industry, what I have seen, we just got back from DC last week and we met personally with our 2 senators. Just us, just our realtor group. They came and met with us for an hour about our issues that we're trying to face. Before that, we went to Raleigh and we met with them. But more importantly, even at the GRA level, we have our local politicians come in and we actually do interviews. And we decide where it's important, not based on what their political party is, but who supports us, who supports what's important to us. And so we do an extensive interview process and then we back those people. Because as you know, we have a lot of things coming down the pipeline with the housing industry. We have an estimate of needing over 900,000 homes in our area over the next decade. And we're at a critical point of needing those politicians on our side to help with regulations, the accessory dwelling unit laws, and a lot of things to kind of be managed or talked about or addressed, because we're going to be in a tough situation. Everything that we worked for to bring to this area, if we don't support it politically, then we're going to lose it, or we're going to stop progress. Because if we don't have that housing support, then what are they coming for? We've got to have the schools, the housing, all that. The jobs are great. And of course, you know, we know how important that is. One thing that kind of hit home with me, because y'all know that we're nickel and dime to death all the time. And there were some numbers, and I can't remember that, and I don't like to read from anything, but kind of like a bottom line. They took an annual commission for a real estate agent at $55,000 on average. And so if the sales tax on our services had been passed, if we didn't have RPAC, that would have been $4,000, $427.50. If a real estate transfer tax had been approved, that'd be $3,850. And they were also proposing to increase our professional fees by $150. So if you make $55,000 on average, that savings, what RPAC has fought for us and changed and stopped, that's a savings of $8,427.50. So you can see that we're not asking you for $1,000. We're not asking you, and Lindy will go over the things, we're asking for just a part, just start somewhere. And if you're here, we're asking you to go there. It's important. It'll cost you down the line. You'd much rather pay $15 or $30 now than pay thousands of dollars next year if we don't stop, you know, what's going to happen to our industry. Come ask us, because we'll talk all day long and we're going to be respectful of everybody's time, because I know you guys have a lot to talk about and they have important stuff to talk about. Grab me anytime, because I want to share it with you how important it is to us, and know that we're all on the same team no matter where. So thank you for your time. Thank you.
Yeah, so just know that at the last meeting that we did, someone asked, do you like literally have folks in Raleigh, in DC fighting for us? And the answer is absolutely yes. There are people that are there every day on behalf of the realtors, and not every industry has that. A lot of folks did get that service tax. We did not, specifically because those folks were up there fighting for us and working on that. So I know Mary Beth did a great job talking about that. I'm just going to let you know, to be a contributor is only $15. You're counted as an investor if you just do $15. You know, the cost of lunch these days is all that it takes. We would like to ask for 30 if you can do that. That's just a GRA thing. We like to get the 30 if we can, because it's a little bit more of a commitment. If you've already always done 30, we'd love to see you step up some, you know, to the next level. Who went to our major investor event weeks ago. Yeah, some of you did. If you contributed at least $100 last year, then you got an invitation to this really nice event that we had. I can't make promises that'll always happen, but we certainly like to show our appreciation for those that do step up. So we have, Maxine has passed out some papers with the QR code. You can utilize that to make your investment. We're out here at the table in the break room. I have cards. If there's any old school check writers in the group, you're welcome to come get a card from me and fill that out, and we'll take that. And again, we don't want to take up any more of your time. We do appreciate you guys very, very much and everything that you do. And we will try to continue to keep you updated on what RPAC is actually doing, because it definitely does matter.
I will say too, because we also get tired of logging into different things. This is super easy. Like if you click on this or here, all you need is your NERDS number. And if you're like me, I should have it memorized. But if you don't, you literally click in like your license number and it automatically, you don't have to wait for a stupid email or anything, it automatically gives it to you. So this is really simple to do. The one thing that I forgot is if you guys can go on Facebook, just know, it's simple, follow, because this is the only way that we can communicate. It's really weird how we're limited in how we can communicate with you guys. But if you can follow GRRA PAC Backers, that's where we're working on Top Chef right now. We're gonna have an upcoming raffle, and that's how we're gonna get that information out to you if you happen to not be able to come to First Tuesday. So GRA PAC Backers, and click on this. I promise it doesn't get on your nerves and ask for a bunch of stuff. It just needs one number. So thank you guys again for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just out of curiosity, who in this room had their license March 1st, 2020, was in business? Anybody know why I'm asking that question? Because we were deemed essential during COVID and we're allowed to continue doing business because of our PAC. So just like that's, yeah, you know, I mean, seriously, a lot of us thought the world was going to shut down and that all of our businesses were going to stop. And that's just one of the great examples of what our PAC does. All right, it is my favorite part of the meeting. It's time for bucket fills, and thank you. So tell me who would like some ducks? I see two here, and because of Memorial Day in May, we have some cute service ducks. Those are really awesome.
Yeah, is I.
All right.
Well, here you go, Aisha. This is, I waited till the deadline for CE, and I am knocking them both out here on May 30th, so thank you, Aisha. And this one is for Kara. Sorry. we don't- Kara knows why, and, that's really for you. Love you, Kara.
That's awesome. Thank you, Joe.
Probably, I think as well, so I'm okay with almost the day.
This one's for Katie. I've been trying to help out, but she's been so patient. She's young and I'm old, so you guys know that.
Is it you? She won one?
Yeah, I can do it.
Oh, look, I'm making.
Let me have, here's one for Crystal. He helped me with a 16, ended up being 16 sellers in a small transaction. I had lots of questions and, but it went really smoothly. Relatively smoothly. Katie might think different. She had to deal with most of them. So this one's for her. But we were able to get it closed last week. Everybody's happy. Felt success.
Oh, it is.
It's so good.
So, I am on an amazing team. And, sure. Okay, stop, I'm on an amazing team and, I was able to go away for 2 weeks with my husband for our 10th anniversary and they totally covered everything. I had 4 closings, I had active buyers who were looking and ended up putting a contract, you know, it was not, as it always is when you say the word vacation. But I'm just so grateful for all of my team, Crystal, Kristen, Jeanette, what is it, I mean, it's insane. You don't realize how much until you're able to leave, something, did I get it? Casey, yes, I did. So anyway, that, I'll give everybody theirs, they're not all here, but, my team's amazing, thank you.
Any more days? All right.
Many years stand.
I love the next, though. It's the best part. All right, who's starting? Good deal.
Kind of like Monica, I too, I went on a 1-year anniversary with my husband out of the country and feeling, hey, I'll take care. They took care of my people while I was gone and I didn't open the MLS once. It was boom.
I love that. Thank you.
You mentioned while we were doing that, she kept it, that we were on our knees. I'll play. It was good. Italy and. Hey.
That's awesome. I love it.
See, this one is, I'd like to give about 60 of these, and this is called a red. I'm going to pass it, suffice it to pass this to Crystal, because Crystal and her team coordinated everything. But I'm going to say that's one of the best red days we had. We got a bunch of stuff done, but a great observing group. And I'm going to tell you, it was fast. It was actually a whole lot. So thank you, everybody that participated. Thank you for you and your guys' role.
Absolutely. Big round of applause. All right, who's going next?
I'm gonna give this to James.
Nice.
I'm really new and he's bearing with me all my questions, so thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Right?
Me?
Yep.
So I have 2, let me compare for different people. So the first one is to Casey. And that job was appropriate because it's a little like director in charge and she's our director in charge and we really couldn't function without her. So thank you for everything that you do. And this one is from Bill. He deserves so much more than a dog. But we have had some conversations lately and he knows the more difficult ones and I'm just super excited to give that to him. And he knows what that's for.
I love it.
And we're gonna keep it at that, but.
All right, good deal.
Hey, put your left hand in the twice, right? Good job.
I have done for Katie. Katie has really stepped up and helping those that is Realty Group. We're positive with the listings that we've been putting on the market, and she's been a true champ. With Dylan, not a walking park, but she's like. And this one for Washington. For helping with a client event that we had last weekend, I went to Bermuda Park. And also for helping with a listing. She did photos for me and listing as well. So thank you very much. I'm grateful for your kind.
Okay, I was in the phone meeting room, and Katie is so patient. She's busy, and everybody that stop by and pop in, she's busy, and she is just so. She sounds like she always has a smile on her face, I can't see her, but she gets a lot, and even when she's interrupted, she's a great person, and she does a lot for us on with material facts. It's not an easy job. But I appreciate her, and I'm sure everyone appreciates her smile that I hear. I can't see it, but no matter what, we interrupt, she's just like, yes, 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 yes. So I appreciate you, and just stop by and appreciate her sometimes.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Edith.
Make it very quick.
You're fine.
Coincidentally, hey, there are only certain times when I text Katie. She knows why. And Sunday, Katie, drove all the way out to Winston-Salem to our college place. To get all the stuff, all the docs notarized, she doesn't have a car, and that's not the first time or the second, third. Then people notarized about.
I love you.
Sunday morning, got all this.
I got.
This is why I love it. It's just, it's great energy to be able to press, to spread, the gratitude and make sure that we recognize those. And I was, Bill stole mine because I was gonna give you one, so I still get to give you a duck for a red day if I may. Especially because, so wasn't beyond the LC member, in addition to broker in charge, in addition to director of operations on the leadership team. And you said, I'm not doing red day, that's it. And then just did red day. Now, I just want to say again, thank you so much, also to your entire committee and the vendor committee for everything that they did to pull that together, and for the partners who came and worked alongside us. It's just, again, great round of applause all the way around to sustain everything.
Pass the time. Look around. What please?
Y'all haven't noticed, I'm scared of the clicker. This looks like I'm not even touching it this month, because I don't want to go through, but we're gonna stay on schedule. We've got 30 minutes left to run through a team meeting and we're perfectly on schedule. So thank you for everybody for your contributions. What is on the screen? What do we call this? Our Y4C2Ts. And you're like, what the heck is a Y4C2T? It's how we remember our value. We realized we were muted. We had secrets we didn't want you to know. All right, so who knows any of the Cs in the Y4C2Ts? Get yourself some, nobody knows any of them? Let's try. Do it, RJ. I mean, not RJ, KJ. Win or no. Good Lord, she's in all four. Good job, good job. All right, who can tell me the two Ts? Who's got one of them? Us? Who? Where?
You said it first. We both did.
No, me, I can say it.
I'm gonna do both. Choose the correct one. Who knows the second T?
Teamwork.
All right. We added a letter in 2020. What letter did we add in 2020?
Equity.
E for equity, opportunities for all.
But I'm gonna donate.
Good. I'm gonna give it to you, let's put that in your name. We're gonna keep going through the Y4C2Ts. We're gonna keep going through our mission and our vision, because it's important that you know the company that you're with and what we stand for and what we believe in. And the Y4C2Ts is the core of this company. So good job. I muted. Jessica, if I may call you up to the room, please, for registry award. Jessica's 5 years last month's winner of the Red Shoe Award, and so if you will, please
tell us who you've nominated and why, and not necessarily in that order.
Be much cooler if we got to wear these.
I wouldn't want to wear it after somebody else though.
Well, yeah.
New ones every time. But I think it's important before I start into who the recipient is to say that whenever, I got it, of course, the first thing I'm like, oh, who's next? Have to start thinking about that. And a lot of people came to mind. I think we're all very fortunate here, and I know myself for sure, that we have a lot of people that we feel definitely deserve shoes. So if I had a pile of shoes here, I would give more than one out. But they won't let me do it with one, and it comes in pairs. But anyway. So
Where the other one is.
right. So for the red shoe, I thought about, okay, what does it mean to get the red shoe? What do you do? What's your beliefs? What do you stand for? What type of person you are, not only in here and outside of here? And so this particular person stood out to me. One, they've been helpful to me. I have saw them in here with new agents helping. And of course, that makes my heart smile since I do PC. They also have taken time to pour into their community. So it's outside of here as well. They are a member of the GRA and very active. And as a matter of fact, she holds a chair spot there. And I'm very proud of this too, Miss LaToya Townsend, that's not here.
Oh, thank you.
Here. And she's on there. So Toya, you deserve it. You're wonderful. I'm glad that I could give it to somebody that hasn't had it before. That deserves a little bit of pat on the back.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Make me cry. Yeah, the U Shoe Award makes me think of when I was a teenager, I worked at Chuck E. Cheese and everybody got in those same costumes after each other. No, thank you. It's just not okay. All right, if you've got a birthday in May with myself included, come up to the front so that you can take your picture. So see, this month I have to stand up here with you. So no unhappy faces. Sean, happy birthday. After birthdays, we always celebrate your anniversary of being with Keller Williams. We're so happy to be in business with you and to celebrate another year. Our oldest friend has been here since 2005, which I think is pretty cool. So if your name is on the slide, please come up so you can get your picture taken. We don't have.
Clearly still in Italy time.
That's okay. All your glory. Happy anniversary. Danette, back up. Where were you? Back there. Anniversary. All right, welcome to Nada, Garrison, and Janelle. And if my two new friends will stand up, please, and come take your picture taken. This is your moment to be embarrassed at team meeting. Your first, because we do this team. First of many. Welcome. I love, please get your photo taken. Great, welcome. All right, ALC members, your Agent Leadership Council is basically our board of directors. And in addition to that, they run fabulous committees. If you're looking to get more involved in the market center, one of the best ways is to start on a committee. Anybody can join a committee. ALC members, does anybody have any wants or needs that they need to discuss at today's meeting? Yep, go ahead, Ediana.
Have a growth committee meeting tomorrow.
Today's Tuesday.
Here, meeting upstairs, but I would love for anyone that's interested in contact sharing.
Well, we talk about profit share tree, that's one of the things, and we're also, the last meeting we had, we talked about, we had influencers meeting, and we were talking about what the other companies do, don't do, and so it was very eye-opening to hear about people who have come from other companies and and just kind of how they work and operate, so it's fascinating. And in addition, yeah.
It's a good thing to get involved in, so Thursday at 2:30.
Love it, love it. To Ediana's credit, normally we have team meetings on Wednesdays. We have had them on Tuesdays because of Bold. Bold graduates this week. Whoop, whoop. So we'll be back on Wednesdays going in June. Anything else from the ALC members? Going once? Going twice? Yes, sir.
About the finance luncheon learn Monday, 11:30.
I love that you're doing that, by the way. Alrighty. We're not going to spend much time on them. Mark your calendars. You guys get these slides after the team meetings. Just you've got some luncheon. I mean, you've got, we've got ALC this week. We've got Jessica's social media's do's and don'ts tomorrow.
That, on the 18th? Is it tomorrow or the 18th? I got the 18th too. Thursday.
We will fix our slides. Please don't write nothing down. We don't know when anything. Masterminds, is there anybody who has gone to the masterminds that I hold on Friday that wouldn't mind speaking real quick to the experience that you're having in that, or why you're going or what you're getting out of that?
Hey, Jen, before you keep going, we missed CE.
Yes, please.
We got CE on the 30th.
It's really, really long. Everybody, it's a great, energy that comes about sharing with people that are not only seeking to improve themselves and their businesses, but also seeking to help you with careers. That's a rarity. I think that's a blessing. Working at Cal Reeves, it's a great thing to do if you want to learn. If you're not careful, you learn something. If you want to learn how people are doing things that make it into your business, show up. It is an easy thing to sit and listen and exchange ideas.
And to be fair, we talk about all kinds of things. I mean, it is definitely a topic of the moment. Sometimes it's a support group, you know, sometimes we're helping each other through things. I know in a couple of them this month, we talked a lot about balance and stress and how we deal with that. And we talk about business strategies and marketing and all kinds of good stuff. So you get an invitation that comes to you via Google now, because that only makes more sense. We all run off of our calendars. And so when you get a chance, pop into those. It's informal, and yet I'm really enjoying the conversation that we're having, and I appreciate those of you who come back month after month. We got some lunch and learns. I've got 6 personal perspectives. Is anybody who took 6 personal perspectives with me last Friday? Does anybody have anything that they would like to share on 6 personal perspectives, or what that is, or why anybody should attend the next 2 sessions? This is Testimony Tuesday.
Attend the next 2 tests. You threw me off the testimony on Tuesday.
Sorry about that.
No, it was very, very eye-opening in this first session, so.
Awesome.
Leave it at that.
Will you be there for the next 2?
Will we be there for the next 2?
That's
We will
it.
be there for the next 2.
I appreciate it. 6 personal perspectives goes through everything from time management to just taking care of ourselves, and it does apply to business as well as just personal. So we also have Edward Jones coming up, and Gray Home Inspection is going to do their structural and exterior review. So great lunch and learns. Just one thing I can ask, please come when you sign up for your lunch and learns. Our vendors are spending a lot of money on these lunches, and free food is awesome. And we would like for that to continue. And we would like to love our vendors who take such good care of us. So please, I understand sometimes things happen, but try your best. If you sign up, try to get them. Regional events that we just want to bring up, Jordan Freed, if I may, Crystal, do you mind if I call on you to talk to, oh, actually, Indy, I got it. Oh, Monica's going to speak. We're just pointing. I got you.
So Chris and I went to the Jordan Freed, was it just last summer? Yeah. Okay, we traveled to Wilmington. I can't say enough about his particular topic. His name is Jordan Freed, and we first saw him down in Savannah at the regional meeting, and we were like, holy crap, if he ever comes anywhere near us, we have to go. So we did. And his thing is, his topic is a free life. My free life. And it's a play off his last name. However, his whole focus, and he is a math coach, so his whole focus is agents and perspective, not only just their business, but their personal, because we know that looks like this. a lot of what we deal with, in real estate is very personal with our clients and that kind of thing. His whole thing was, are you taking care of yourself so that you can take care of your clients? And what does that look like, both from a business perspective, you know, processes and that kind of thing, as well as personal. So I cannot recommend him enough. We came away uplifted, but thoroughly exhausted, emotionally, simply because of how deep he delves into, and there were people crying at the end, most of everybody, but in a good way, so, highly recommend it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It always helps to hear from somebody who's gone and can speak to it. That's actually this weekend, and they're holding a social event Friday night after the actual course. And so if you get the opportunity, there's a few spaces left in that, and then train the presenter. If you've never heard of Train the Presenter, anybody who wants to teach Ignite, anybody who wants to go down the path of potentially presenting better, even your listing presentations and your buyer presentations, Train the Presenter is worthwhile. Tammy Youngs is actually the instructor. She is the owner and founder, if I am not correct, of CES, which is one of our big, like it's something that we have here in the Carolinas that not everybody else has access to really great classes. But anyway, Train the Presenter is one of your first steps down that path that will make you, like I said, a better presenter all the way around. It's a fantastic course, so I cannot recommend that one enough. And then Mo Anderson, who is why we celebrate Red Day, right, in honor of her birthday. She's actually going to be at the Cultural Summit in Charlotte, and the very next day is the Equity Summit. And usually they do those two events separately, and this year we're doing them together. So good things to put on your calendar all the way around. I have a couple housekeeping things that I just need to run through. We're having some conflict with Suite 108 and the conference rooms. We're trying to find a better way to sign up for that, and we're in the process of figuring that out and kind of merging that in also to having a little bit more friendly of a training calendar with a little bit easier clicks and RSVPs. And so it's a process. In the meantime, the proper policy is, let me preface this with saying, Becca comes back on Thursday. Like, y'all don't know how good of a thing that is, because it has been a broken ship since she has been gone. Donna, thank goodness, has made it through. Katie, everybody has picked up the pace. Oh, yes, you have. It has been tough. It has been really, really tough. The proper procedure is to let Becca know that you want to reserve 108 and then it go on the training calendar. We are happy to have anybody use that, but please make sure you're going through the proper channels, because what's happening now is some people are not using that, and we're having double bookings. And if you're having meetings or if you're having presentations with clients, it doesn't look good for us to have overbooking. Same thing with the conference rooms. They have 3 conference rooms, but there is 200 of us. So if we can make sure that we are signing up properly and that conference room is reserved for no longer than 2 hours is the maximum on the conference room space, so that everybody has the opportunity. And yet we do have 3 open drop-in offices right now that you can drop in at any time and work. There are 2 on this hall and there's 1 on this hall, and in the nameplate it says drop-in space. And you're more than welcome to park there for as long as we have that open. But just be respectful of your fellow friends and make sure that we're going through the proper channels. And then if you are holding events here after hours or on Saturdays, for the security of the building, we just want to remind you that we cannot prop the doors open downstairs, for example. That leaves this entire building unsecure. In addition to that, please keep in mind that while you have guests here, to not let them meander around the building and go into other agents' offices. We want to make sure that this is a safe and inclusive place for everyone, and that means following the rules, because they're there for a reason. Appreciate that. Go ahead. Yes.
Just remember, in the summertime, if you do have an after hours event here, there's no AC. The AC is turned off at the weekend, so, and at night, so it will get hot up here. Spencer can attest that he was teaching pre-licensing course, right? Second thing is, the conference rooms are meant to meet clients. They're not meant to go in there and work. I know during the slower times, like in the fall, the winter, it's fine, but right now it's starting to crank back up. They just want to meet their clients in there. We created those drop-in offices so you can go in and shut it.
Eric, thank you. All right, how many of you have waited to the very last minute to get your CE for this year? So we are having CE in house. So on May 30th, Aisha is graciously scheduled us not only the general update, but a really cool CE with toxic toxic transactions, which I like anything that sounds like it's gonna be a little bit dirty and a little bit iffy, so I'm all in for the CE. But just simply, we'll have this out to you so you can click and register. Don't wait till the last minute, because spots will fill up fast, because we do all tend to procrastinate, not all of us, but obviously a good amount of us. And so you do want to be in compliance, and not lose your license and all that good kind of stuff.
This toxic transaction kind of service.
Does it count as ethics? I don't believe so. DEI minute, if I may call up our DEI member for this month. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, and actually I'd like to have the B on the back of it as belonging, because that's a big part of DEI.
So the DEI meetings, we hold monthly. By the way, everyone is always invited. We share that all the time, but I'm just gonna share it again. But in our meetings, we often talk about the fact that during the meetings, we're in a safe space, right? And we also want to make sure that everyone else feels that they're in a safe space as well, whether or not you choose to attend or not. And so we were trying to figure out over the past couple of meetings, how can we kind of implement something to where people can give feedback in a safe manner. And so we have a funny little story that I can attest to as well. So we'll get to that in a second. So we have a box, lock and key, okay? Jason and I will hold on to one key. Jen is gonna hold on to the other key. With the little suggestion pamphlets. You don't have to fill these out precisely if you don't want to, but you can if you want to. Just slide right in here, and I feel like I'm on QVC as I lock this, but I wanted to lock it just to show you guys, like, I mean, you can't get in this thing. It's completely locked up and secure. We were trying to figure out where to even put it, because we wanted to make sure, you know, there's cameras around, and we wanted to make sure if somebody wanted to submit a suggestion or a concern or a comment or what have you, that it could be completely anonymous and wouldn't even be on camera, not as though we're all gonna run and look at the cameras. But so we literally in 2 meetings ago, the door was open and I ran out into the mailroom, and we were like looking at where the cameras are pointing. It's gonna go somewhere in the mailroom. The funny thing is I was standing out there like, okay, I don't think the cameras are here, and that was on phone duty, and she was like,
What are you people doing in there?
like, what are you doing? So that's pretty much it.
I think that's fair.
Oh,
Yes.
it says state for safe, anonymous feedback.
Safe box.
Safe box.
Good job, Jeffrey.
I left out the part that if it's DEI related, obviously don't put your name, you know, it's completely anonymous. If it's something DEI related, Jason and I will take it and, you know, meet with Jen, and if it's not DEI related whatsoever, just pass it off to Jen.
Yeah, so it's like anything. It does not have to be DEI related. This is literally a safe box for anything that you would like to share anonymously.
Here's your
So thank
safe
you
box.
very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff, and the DEI committee. Only 2 things that I'd like to say in addition to DEI is we are in a contest at GRRA to have the most fair haven submissions, which means you have gone through the simulation and you have gotten the certificate and you have mailed that to the broker in charge email. We are a very large entity here, so I want to win really bad. I want to show that that's who we are as a company. And so if you will please take the time to do Fair Haven sometime this week, I really would appreciate that. And again, mail it over to the brokers in charge. And there was another thing, there was a second thing. Dang, it'll come back to me. We've received 11 so far. So yes, absolutely. So that's a good sign, and yet we still have a lot to do. We have a lot to work on. All right, if you have a referral, kelleragentreferral.com. When you send me in referrals, and as I'm making contact and we're working through the process, I do let you know what's going on, if I've had the appointment, if where we are, you know, in the whole process. So know that just doesn't go into an account somewhere and nobody looks at it, but this is how you grow your profit share. This is how you bring in residual income into your household. And in addition to that, you help grow the market center because of course, as we know, if we're not growing, we're dying. So that's my plug for referrals. You don't have to use this. You can send it to me in emails, although this is the preferred method for your referrals. All right, we're starting to get into some celebrations. Our cappers for this month. Congratulations, Crystal, Dee Dee, and Mike Carter. If you'll come up real quick and get your picture taken, we're gonna have to roll a little fast. You're the only one. Dee Dee told me she wasn't gonna be here today. Congratulations on Catherine. All right, our May listings and closings. Our top individuals in April were Kim and Mike, and then our top team was Buchanan Real Estate Group, and our top group, meaning that you have more than 2 producing real estate agents, was Dee Dee's Real Estate Group. So Kara, come up to the front and come get your picture taken. She wasn't here. Did she leave? Oh, she left. There is nobody. Sorry, you are the representative for the Buchanan Real Estate Group. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you look lovely today. It's a good day to choose. Congratulations for our top listing. Impressive. All right, our home run hitters, 1 listing taken, 1 contract written, and 1 contract closed. Alec, Beth, Bill Warmith, Burton, Grace, Heather, Jamie, Jeff, Jor, Kelly, Kim, Lauren, Morella, Maxine, Michael, Mike is not here, I know, Mila, Rhonda, Scott, Sherry, Stephanie, and Sue. If you are here, please come get your picture taken. Oh, we have a baby in the picture.
Oh. No, what?
Okay.
I,
All right, apparently, all this time, this is my 16th meeting, and I didn't know that when we go through the listing slide, that anybody and everybody who had a listing in April is supposed to come up to the front. So if you had a listing in April, can I please ask for you to come up to the front to get your picture taken? Is that
closing or listing?
closing or listing? Come on up, let's do it. Who did business in the month of April? I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Good job. Let's get that whole room up here next month. I love it. All right, don't get too comfy. Top individuals based off of gross commission income. If you were on this slide, please come on up, Andy. And Andy. Andy Long. Thank you.
Andy.
This is you.
He's reading the name, not looking at the picture.
Coming up here a little bit. I love it. Good job. Congratulations. Our top teams based off of gross commission income, Dream Team United, come on up, Fraser Team, Radiant, James, Davis Team, the Valentine, why do I mess up with Valentine's every time? Like, this is not that hard. Albert Hill Team and Stanley Kelleher.
Do you know how many people think that first name is Stanley and last name is Kelleher?
Really? Does that happen all?
Is this Stanley? Oh.
Congratulations. All right, top groups, if your team, if your group is on the slide, please come up to the front. Chris, I just saw you come in, great timing. Papalardo team, Dees, Crystal Williams, the Elite, Warmouth group, Angie Wilkie, McCollum Realty, and Kim Mathis, come on up.
That's right. Thank you. You love the movement too. Thanks. They're doing by themselves.
Good job, congratulations. All right, top expansion team based off of gross commission income, CEP. Do I have anyone from Carolina expansion team in the house? I do believe I have somebody, yes? Maybe not. That's odd to that. They usually have somebody here. We're gonna tell them, where's your representation? All right, for our first closing with KW1, if you were on the side, would you please come forward? Well, we didn't celebrate you in March, so get your happy butt up here. What is this face? Okay, right here. Good job, congratulations. All right, Mr. Andy, I'm gonna call you up for market information.
So the slide deck is sent out every single Monday. They usually this is the week where it updates pretty much all the slides from the previous month. And we're just here to talk about the market. We're talking about nationally, we're talking about it regionally, and of course, compare it to our market locally, right? If you haven't heard, of course, the East Coast is doing very well. We're still considered a destination. If you look, there is a migration pattern for people coming into our state, which is a great thing, right? So realize prices are still going up, and we're going to take a harder look at pricing here in a second. Again, we usually post this on the Facebook page. It is email. I know it's sent in some chats. It's emailed out. If you have problems accessing it, let me know, because I would take these slides and I would have the same conversation with your buyers and sellers. So they're going to ask you what's happening in the market, right? All right, so newly listed homes. As you know, we are in what we're calling a low velocity market, which means our unit sales are down because one, the number of homes is coming on the market is down. So right now, 21.3% down is that average price that we've seen. But in the South, year over year, we're still down 13.8%. All right, but our active inventory count is 103% compared to last year, right? Still not enough listings to sell. I think most of you guys are feeling that. We're hearing multiple offers still. We're hearing due diligence fees rising. There are talks from people waiving inspections, taking as is now again, right? Some six figures DD, lots of due diligence are in the $10,000 or $20,000 at least is what we're seeing, right? See sometimes little $5,000, $3,000 slip through there.
I saw one yesterday come in for two.
See? So every now and then, depending on where it is and what it is, it's still very tough. If you're trying to buy someplace in the city, it's tough. It's just relentless showings, right? All right, again, this is the total amount available, okay? Year to date down 14.5%. This is the gap compared to last year. Our inventory is still low, right? Again, nothing earth shattering here. You guys have just been dealing with low inventory, right? Many of you have buyers and you're probably making multiple offers and haven't won, right? But if you pay attention to this right now, the bad news is for buyers, I don't see anything changing. It probably will get a little bit worse before it even gets better, okay? Now, this is an interesting thing, right? Because there's not so many resale homes, you still have people that are what? Rate locks, they're in their house, they could sell it, have a whole bunch of money, but they love their rate, all right? And, the rates that have been all over the place. RJ, what's the par today?
We're still mid-60s, we're in 60s.
Mid-6s, historically, awesome rate, right? Awesome rate. People are starting to get used to the rate. And if you show them that rate chart over the course of time, right? Again, it is not going to go back into the 3s. Probably not in my lifetime. Maybe your kid's lifetime or something like that, okay? But because of the resales are down across the country, over 25% of the inventory is new listings. Well, when I saw that chart, I went, huh, I wonder what percentage of new listings are in our inventory. So 2,173 active listings in the MLS as of when I took this morning, okay? Then I did a search. How many of those actives were 2022 or newer? 792. That is 36%. All right. Hence,
That's just what's listed.
that's just what's listed. Realize that what builders, they list every single house they have, every single lot. No, they don't. So it's probably even higher here. That just gives you a feel of how low the inventory is. And that's the only reason why I wore the shirt today. Hey, that supply is not gonna get relieved anytime soon. So if you're gonna buy some dirt and do a development, it may be great timing to do that, right? Okay. A lot of the houses are going to sell really fast. Almost half of them are going under contract within 2 weeks, right? What this means is what? While listings are harder to get, they are easier to sell. So my advice is spend more time, spend more energy, spend more effort, more resources, money, call it what you want, to go after listings right now. If you have a listing, you're in control, right? If you have the buyer, you just gotta be a special buyer now. It's getting to that point, okay? Pricing nationally, again, let me say that. So what's happening is the pending median price has been creeping up since last year. I know some people have said that there's a prediction that prices would be falling by the end of the year. If this keeps up, we will be in the positive compared to last year in July. And I would say that's gonna happen here. Again, there's no solution to our supply issue right now, okay?
What would you say to a seller that says, well, rates are, if the prices are gonna continue to go up, I'll just wait till after July, because I can get more money.
Either wait till after July. I mean, that to me, it's always depends on what you're doing. I can only tell you what's happening right now, right? So, hey, I don't know, are they gonna raise the debt ceiling or not? I have no idea. What could halt the party? That could halt a party, our party, right? What else could halt our party? We go to war. Major world event. We go to war. Hurricane comes tearing through. Like, there's a lot of those natural disasters that you're hearing about across the country. I just don't know, right? So there's no idea what is going to happen. All I know is you're just taking a gamble.
I would add to ask the question, what happens if prices go down? Right, because it could go either way. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, it could go up. What happens if it goes down?
Yeah, it's, I mean, the line's here.
Yeah.
List your house now, it's gonna go in July. Right? I think another interesting here, again, 3-year job gain since pre-COVID, 6.3%. Right? Remember that what healthy jobs leads to healthy housing sales. Okay, so again, we're in a great place. That's a destination for people to come for various reasons. I think for the triad, our economic news as far as incoming companies has been very, very positive in comparison to years past. So again, it's great to be, to own real estate here because it's a destination. All right. The last one is this. Oh, sorry, this is not last one. I put more slides than I have in here. This is the regional. This is the negative. These two are negative. I'm gonna redo those and send them in. All right, as you can see, what's happening is last month, the nation was off about 28-30%. High 20s, high 30s as far as unit sales, as far as volume being taken, okay? Compare that to us, the triad, we're not off as much. Our sold dollar volume is off 20%, 20.5. Our units sold are down 21.9, right at 22%, right? So we are trending like the nation, just a little bit lower, not off by the 30%. Commissions are up. So it says 20 right here, right? When COVID started, or that period of where commissions were getting compressed when sellers could sell their house basically by sending a text to 5 of their friends, they could sell their house. That trend is coming back up. 5.32% in 2022, right? Remember, if I'm taking listings, what is the number one thing that right now that a seller wants help with?
Pricing.
Pricing their house. Get good at pricing your house. Get good at pricing homes, right? Here's some of our data. Again, we're number 1 in unit sales. Number 2 in volume by just a smidge, okay? Here's the one that's interesting to me. Again, I think it's an opportunity. We're 5th in sales price, right? 5th in sales price to offer price, right? 99.9 and 98.2, 97.6, and realize that some of these trends are what, for a while there, all these numbers, everyone had numbers above 100, but everything was selling above this price, right? In an up market, when prices are trending upwards, you're pricing to meet that market, you're pricing above, people are pushing prices to a point, right? The question is, maybe you're pushing them a little bit too much, I don't know, it's a little bit low here, but this is just a month, this is 1 month, could be an anomaly, right? Days on market, all right, if you take 2782 and divide it by 1636, what is that number? 2782 divided by 1636 will give you months supply of inventory. 1.7, right? Crept up a little bit, but still just an indication of how heavy a buyer's market it is. Now, I will say, if you look at these price ranges, right? That is a little over 1. That is exactly 1. That is, again, at least still over 1. 300 to 400. That's good. That's creeping close. That's what? Almost 2. Right? That's over 2. So those numbers actually previously were closer together. But again, it's 1 month's numbers. You have to check it. This is just if it's a trend, we'll see. All right, when we look at year to date. So here's a slide that you could also take. Again, 96.8, the average house is only at 95.9%. Again, 0.9%. And of course, we're selling in 30 days versus 39 days. Still selling faster than the average, so that's good. Keep it up, keep the price. Keep a tune on pricing. I would tell you definitely take a look at that. That's the number 1 thing with buyers or sellers. Right? Okay, does anybody have any questions? Okay.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right, and then we're a little bit over, but brokers in charge, we lost one. Crystal, congratulations. You get to do the broker in charge portion.
No more ducks.
You've earned all the ducks you can get today.
Well, the biggest thing that we were gonna say is your CE completed, you've got less than a month now, June 10th is your last day to CE. The invoices are gonna come out for your dues coming up, so ready for those, prepared for those, we do June 30th. Also, don't forget to pay and renew your license renewal for you as an individual, if you have a firm, do it also for your firm. Those are also due to the state. For getting more money. Dues, license renewal, CE completed. Isn't it 15 starting? That was yesterday, yeah. Now, it's open for payment starting yesterday. Just go ahead and pay, it's $45.
Do remember your firm though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got a firm license, whether it's your primary or your secondary, make sure to get your prime. I mean, your.
Pay your fee to.
Yeah, one job, one job.
Hey, Bill.
And then the second thing was the show.
Yes, there is a service out there that is called a Shawami. Anybody ever heard of it? Okay. You can't do that. We're going to put in a plus in here that you're not allowed to participate in the Shawami or any of the ones that are like that. The problem you run into is, use a real quick example, an Allen Tate agent has a listing. I mean, has a buyer, they can't show. You sign up, they hire you to come show their buyer the listing. Guess whose listing it is? It's Jeffries. If you work here, by default, you are going to be a seller sub-agent, but you're working with the buyer from another firm. There's such a conflict in agency. By the way, there'll be a class on agency on the 23rd. It's fraught with pitfalls and things that could go wrong. So there will be an addition that we will add to the policy and guidelines handbook, but we are not going to allow you to do that. And so, it's not just something we were doing. I actually spoke with the attorney for the real estate commission who said, if it were my firm, I would have let my piece. So, all right. Yes, sir.
For CE, isn't it every other year you have to be at extra fund?
They're moving into the 2-3-year cycle starting in 2025.
Well, it started actually with this year, once every 3 years. Which is going to be just as confusing as it sounds within. They're getting ready to make it confusing more so because guess what else they're adding now? The same requirement on the same schedule, the exact same schedule, fair housing. So that also is going to end up being a required class at least once in every 3 years.
I think that we all got corrected the bump up. Right? Didn't we all have to do our ethics last year to bump this up to this new cycle?
Yeah.
And now starting a new cycle for 2010 where every one of us are on the same schedule. We don't have alternating years.
Trying to get everyone on the same page.
That's every year,
It's not every year. It is every 3 years starting in 2020. But if you're ever confused, call the commission or the board for your ethics.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing, I had 3 phone calls today, 3, from agents at other firms that have said, I've been trying to reach so-and-so agent in your office for 2 or 3 days. I have not gotten a return call. I've texted, their voicemail box is full. I'm trying to set a showing on their appointment. I mean, on one of their listings. I can't get confirmation. I've got one guy that called me about a listing that our office has. He has tried for 3 days to set a showing. We've got an absentee agent that is going to have an unpleasant conversation today. Don't do that. That reflects so poorly, not just on our office, but on realtors as a whole. Answer your calls, return texts, do what you're supposed to do. Just consider yourself being on the receiving end. 3 calls this morning.
Yeah, we had a call the other day, somebody was trying to submit an offer and could not get a response from the agent.
I'm just going to tell you, if you want to see you pissed off, That's one of them. That is, I find that incredibly embarrassing and very unprofessional, and I'm just not gonna do that.
I agree. What's the number one that customers say about renters?
Communication.
Are these seasoned agents or newer agents?
Yes.
The one that called in about the offer was a seasoned agent. They had sent over an offer, they got no confirmation, they had sent her text, they got no confirmation. Yeah, it was, they had been trying to get in touch with her for days.
If you don't think it's a big deal, go discuss it with your client. Tell them you didn't return a call to an agent that wanted to bring an offer like this. See what their reaction is. Okay. Sorry, I'm going.
Okay, we needed to hear that. Thank you.
All right.
All right, we did run over. I appreciate everybody who has hung out with us to the end. Thank you so much for everybody's contribution this month in April. We look forward to seeing you back for team meeting next month. Let's eat.